say dogs are a man's best friend, and a local university is now using them to help their students.
They are. Nazareth University incorporates therapy dogs on its campus to promote learning and bring joy to students and faculty. Chris Lopez is live there this morning learning more about the school's IPAW program. Chris?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, right in front of me, you have Tilly here. You have Rosie lying down right now. And then you have Orion over here. Looks like a black lab. Did I get that right? And I'm here with Laura. She's one of the founders of the IPAW program. IPAW is an acronym. I want to get that out of the way. What does it stand for?
It stands for the Interprofessional Animal Assisted Wellness Collaborative.
And it started in 2020. What was the idea behind it?
The idea was that Orion being on campus had been such a positive benefit. I was her puppy raiser for Guiding Eyes for the Blind. The students loved it so much that we decided we wanted to expand the program and keep going with therapy dogs. Orion had to drop out of Guiding Eyes for the Blind because of ear infections, and we got to keep her here, and we were very lucky for that.
And what's been the reaction like? We have some students in here petting the dogs, but what has it been like from the entire campus?
They absolutely adore the dogs. During COVID, we would walk past students and they would smile at you and be excited to see you, and it was really quite a benefit. Everybody who sees them smiles and gets very excited. They just really adore it. Sometimes they'll come by our offices and visit with the dogs outside and say, this is just what I needed. So it gives them a wonderful break.
And I want to head over to Missy. She's the other co-founder of this IPAW program. And you're with Rosie right now. Can you tell me a little bit about Rosie? This is a beautiful dog.
Sure. Rosie's a Springer Spaniel. She's 3 years old. She loves to swim and really loves to get petted by the students, right? And her tail wags a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you're going around the campus with the dogs, what's that reaction like? It's got to be different from being in this setting. You have different students that may not have interacted with the dogs before that see someone like Rosie walking around the campus.
Yeah, students might not know me, but I hear Rosie, 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 and then they say, oh, you too. Nice to see you too. So yeah, the students, I think, get a big thrill out of the unexpected interactions with the dog when we come around a corner. And maybe, they don't see the dog at first. Then they spot the dog, and then they always want to stop and pet. So it takes Laura and I a long time to get around campus. If we're going somewhere, we have to allot extra time. For how long?
And they all have different everyone's calm right now, but they all have different personalities. What's Rosie's personality?
She is an energetic girl who just loves to have fun.
And we're going to be here throughout the morning. Look at this dog, Tilly. Back to you guys in studio learning more about how the dogs benefit the students and me right now.
Oh, no, I love that one. Tilly.
What?
So
Do you have something to say?
Chris, we would love you to bring Tilly back to the station for us, just for the day.
Just to hang out.
They're looking to bring you back, Tilly. They're looking to bring you back.
What a great program. I love this. Thank you, sir. 7:06 this morning. If you're walking the campus of Nazareth University, you may be walking alongside man's best friend.
Oh, since 2020, the school has integrated therapy dogs into campus life to promote mental well-being for the students on campus.
I love this.
Yes,
Chris Lopez is
cool.
there this morning. He's learning more about the IPAW program at the university. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, when you see the paw prints on the floor here at Smith Hall, that means an event is going on, or you can have visiting hours for the 3 dogs. What you're going to look at is Tilly, Orion, Rosie as well, all passed out on the floor. It's a little bit too early for them. And I bring Nishita in. She's the president of the IPAW program. How long have you been president here?
2 years.
I was about to say 2 weeks. You're brand new. And what's it been like being the president? This is a pretty cool program that you guys got going on here.
It's a pretty cool position. I had somebody that passed it on to me, so she was very welcoming, and she led me into everything, which is really nice. But it's a really cool program, and I love being the president. This year I do have a co-president, so it's a little bit nice to split up the
duties.
Yeah, the duties. But last year it was just me, and it was good. Like it was like a fresh thing, but I was able to just jump right in, and it was good.
And you said you started to interact with the program as a freshman. Can you talk about that journey from a freshman? You're a senior now, are you?
Yeah, I am. So when I was a freshman, we only had Rosie and Orion. And I participated in their research study, so I would walk Orion once a week for 30 minutes, and that's kind of like how I started getting into it, and I spent more time with Dr. P along with that. And then as time went on, they started doing like walking hours, so I would keep walking them, and then once they were like official therapy dogs, they were just with the handlers, so I would just visit the office. I would come to the office hours, and yeah. And
you guys had a painting with pups, did I get that right? Pups and painting program. How'd that go?
We've kind of adapted it a little bit, but we used to do like students would put tape on their canvas and put the paint on it, put it into a plastic bag, and we would put peanut butter on top of the plastic bag. We've adapted a little bit for allergies, so we use like olive oil and stuff now, but the dogs essentially like lick the outside of the bag, and then you take it out and like let it dry, take the paint off, or the tape off, and it reveals the painting. And you guys have a cool event at Thanksgiving for these guys too? Can you explain a little bit about that? We have the pups like tasting party for Thanksgiving. We're gonna have like traditional like Thanksgiving foods, like cranberries, corn, sweet potato, green beans. We did it last year, and it was like a super popular event. And I think Rosie didn't like the sweet potatoes. Is that correct? Yeah, she was a little picky. Yeah, Rosie laying on her back right now, getting all the scratches. A little bit of a picky eater. Doesn't like the sweet potatoes. We're gonna be here throughout the morning, hanging out with the dogs. Man, what's better than that? Back to you guys in studio.
Lucky Chris out there today.
7:43, they say dogs are a man's best friend, and a college in Pittsford has brought the two together.
Yeah, it's a perfect pairing. Nazareth University incorporating therapy dogs on campus to promote learning and bring joy to the students and faculty. Chris Lopez has been live there all morning learning about the school's IPAW program. And Chris, we're not there with you, but we can just feel all the good vibes and the relaxation just through the camera.
Yeah, exactly. We've been kind of interacting with the dogs, but we haven't really gotten into any of the exercises that they do here in the IPAW program. I bring in John Rigney with me this morning. The animal-assisted anxiety, right? Did I get that correctly?
Animal-assisted anxiety toolbox.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
And so what are the tools in the toolbox?
I think one of the ones that we're going to talk about today is deep breathing. That's one of the first things we can do to help kind of calm our anxiety and to bring in the calming system. So we'll be talking about some box breathing. That's a big one. And then there's some other mindfulness tips like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding. So we could go over some of those.
And before we get into those, what kind of benefits have you seen this happen, these exercises?
Students report that they're just feeling more relaxed and calm and grounded, and able to focus on their schoolwork and focus on their day-to-day operations, and they just feel better.
Is there a huge you don't have to name names or anything like that, but have you seen maybe a case that came in where they're incredibly stressed out, whether it's finals, graduating, not knowing what to do next, and then you introduce them to something like this? And have you seen something like a big turnaround?
I've had students at the end of the year kind of come up to myself or Laura and be like, thanks so much. I use those skills like out in the real world or, out in the classroom or wherever, and it's helped me so much. So yeah, they have told us that.
And then we have Orion here at the center of all the action. She has been doing a lot of the helping. Is she pretty much the main focal point for a lot of these exercises?
We would run this program before Orion, and we had decent attendance, but then as soon as we joined with Orion, the attendance doubled.
And then can we demonstrate one of these exercises, and what's it called?
This one's going to be box breathing.
Okay.
But we can absolutely demonstrate that with the class and with everyone at home.
Yeah. Okay. So this can be done at home.
This can be done at home.
Okay. So if you're watching, this can be done right now. And then can you walk us through this, please?
So basically, if you have a box at home, anything that's a box shape, this is called box breathing. Okay. And in here, we like to use Orion and Orion's box bed. So what we're going to have the students do is we're going to breathe in for 2 sides, and then we're going to breathe out for 2 sides. So if right now you find your box and you look at it, we're breathing in for 2 sides and then breathing out for 2 sides. So breathing in and breathing out. We'll do one more. Breathing in and breathing out. And notice how Orion's really relaxed with this too.
And then can Orion, during this breathing exercise, can she be pet while this is happening?
So to get more interaction with everyone, we go into the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding.
Okay.
So that one is where students will come up and they can pet Orion. So would you like me to demonstrate that?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding, basically what we're doing is we're paying attention to our senses. So right now, if students want to come up, if any students want to come up to Orion, and you can do this one at home too. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to guide us, and what I'd like us to do, and you don't have to say it out loud, and same people can do this at home. Right now I want you to notice 5 things wherever you are.
Okay.
So if it's Orion, notice 5 things with Orion. Or if you're just in an area, you want to look around, what are you seeing?
Okay.
What does it look like? Pay attention to that. Any objects, any colors, any shapes, pay attention to that. So now what we're going to do is 4 things that we can feel. So this is where Orion comes into play. Students can feel Orion, and then does Orion feel different in certain parts of her body? Do her legs feel different than her body? Does her ear feel different? So 4 things you can feel. And so they do that, and while they're doing that, this helps bring in the parasympathetic nervous system, the calming system.
Okay.
And then 3 things that we can smell. So what can we smell right now? So pay attention to that.
Treats.
They can smell. And then 2 things that you can hear. So what are we hearing right now? And you're right, this is where, if we have the clipboards with the treats in them, that's where Orion hears that, and Orion goes right to the treats.
Okay.
So 2 things you can hear. And then lastly, we want to do one good thing. Say one good thing to yourself. So
I like that one.
Yeah, what's one positive thing? And I think the reason we do that is self-compassion. A lot of times anxiety is outside of us, it acts as a bully, and it doesn't want us to be kind to ourselves. So we want to go against that bully. What is one thing I can say to myself that's kind and self-compassionate? And a lot of times with anxiety too, what we do is we tell students, what would you tell a friend? Because often we're angry at ourselves with the anxiety, and we're like, you should just get over it or whatever. But if you're kind to your friends, what would you say to them? So if you have a test coming up, it's going to be awful, I'm not going to be able to take this, I'm going to fail, I'm going to get a horrible grade. A friend might say to you, you know what, you've been studying, you've been working really hard on this, you're going to do better than you think. And so we want to apply that to ourselves. So that's kind of the self-compassion.
I love that. This can be done at home?
Yep.
You would want a furry friend. It could be a cat, it could be a dog, but it really seems like you just want to be present and kind of get all the stresses out.
So mindfulness is something you can do, grounding techniques, anything you can do at any time. So if you're washing the dishes, what does the soap smell like? How warm is the water? You're taking a shower, same thing. How warm is the water? What does the soap smell like? You're taking a walk. What does the wind feel like on my body right now? What am I hearing right now? What am I smelling outside? And really, it's not a long thing. It's like you can do it for 30 seconds and bring yourself right into the moment.
Thank you so much, Sean. I'm going to send it back to studio on that note. Can't get any better than that.
It doesn't.
Dan.
No.
Oh, no, wait.
Okay,
not Dan.
that's fine.
I want to say, Dan, apply this. But you guys can tell Dan to apply this if he's watching. Dan, go ahead and apply that.
All right. Sure, we were just going to give a bunch of compliments, but it's fine. You know what? Tell those pops that they're doing great out there. We appreciate all that they're doing.
They say a dog is man's best friend. So one college in Pittsford has brought the 2 together, and they're doing it on campus.
Yeah, Nazareth University incorporating therapy dogs on campus to promote learning and also to bring a little joy to the students and faculty. Chris Lopez is live there this morning talking and learning all about the school's IPAW program. Chris, there are some very good boys and girls out there with 4 legs.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, Tilly, Orion, both 2 dogs that help out with all of the programs that they have here on the IPAW program. And one of the ways the dogs help out with is speech pathology. I bring in Jamie. She's a student here. And then what's your major?
Speech language pathology.
And you have worked with Tracy over here, which we'll get to, her sister, in a minute, but how much of an improvement have you seen, and what kind of exercises did you do?
Yeah, so Tracy and I worked together with Tilly in one of our speech therapy sessions. So Tracy has aphasia, which is an acquired language disorder, often after a brain injury or a stroke, and it impacts an individual's ability to communicate, but not their intelligence at all. So Tracy interacts with dogs in her everyday life. So
the joy speaks for itself here. That's amazing.
Yeah, so we thought we would work on practicing really functional commands for dogs, such as like sit down and come here. And so we had Tilly come into one of our sessions, and Tracy said the commands and Tilly did them like immediately. And I think it was just a really powerful moment for both of us to see that her communication is meaningful and her words matter. And I think that NAS just offers a really unique opportunity to be able to give our clients this opportunity to work with the therapy dogs and have their voices be heard.
And that's incredibly special. What was a memory that you're going to take away from this?
I think there was, right as soon as we started working with Tilly, I don't remember what command it was, but I think it was sit down, and Tilly did it immediately, right? And Tracy it was so impactful to see that she was able to communicate that and the dog was able to understand, and that all of her hard work is really paying off.
Well, thank you. That's amazing work that you've done. And what year are you?
I'm entering my second year of grad school. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you plan to do after?
I want to work with adults in a medical setting, so helping people regain their communication and their ability to communicate with people.
Well, good luck to you. You're doing a lot of special work. Thank you. And I want to bring in Mary. This is Tracy's sister.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And how has it been, the improvement that you've seen with Tracy, just interacting with Tilly right here?
Well, first of all, we're very fortunate to be able to be asked to participate in the dog therapy program here at Nazareth College. A lot of the tools that Tracy has learned, she's been able to carry over to her home and able to work with her own dogs, Sammy, Meatball, and Dexter.
Let me repeat that. Sammy, Meatball, and Dexter?
Dexter. Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, when she comes home from her sessions with Jamie, one of the first things she does is goes and greets the dogs. Of course, she's always excited to see them and practice what they've learned in her prior session here at Nazareth College. So we've been very fortunate to be a part of this program.
And that's such a huge jump. What was it from day zero to now? What's it been like?
Well, for example, when Tracy greeted her dogs, she wasn't able to say their names. She would just say baby. Now she's able to look at each dog individually and say their names, Sammy, Meatball, and Dexter, which is 100% improvement.
And for someone watching this, you know firsthand what just dogs can do with anything. What would you tell that person who's maybe skeptical or, oh, that doesn't work?
All I can say is we're dog people. Yeah. If you don't have a dog, go adopt one. There's so many dogs out there that don't have homes, and we just love our dogs. And every night before Tracy goes to bed, she actually says goodnight to her dogs. So, and every morning she wakes up to her dogs. So they play a vital importance in her life every day.
And I want to ask, how are the dogs? What are their personalities? Meatball, those are cool dog names.
Meatball's what? Naughty.
Naughty.
And how's Sammy? He's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And Dexter's nice
Dexter.
too.
No.
No, Dexter's not nice. No.
He's what? Naughty.
Naughty. Naughty. Two naughty dogs there, Meatball and Dexter. They're doing amazing work here at the IPAW Club. I'm going to send it back to you guys on that note. Can't do any better than that.
With a name like Meatball, you can't go wrong.
Oh
you
my gosh.
cannot go wrong. I love this.
I
This
know.
is great work that they're doing there.
I think they need to come in and make a visit to the studio.
I really think so too. Christopher, if you can hear us, bring them by.
Bring them on back. 8:38, welcome back. If you are on the campus of Nazareth University, you may be walking alongside one of man's best friends.
Yeah, since 2020, the school has integrated therapy dogs into campus to promote mental well-being for students right there at Naz. Chris Lopez has been live there for us all morning long, learning more about the IPAW program. Chris?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, I want to bring in someone very special, someone we know of. This is Jasmine. I'm sure you guys already know. This is our intern at Channel 13. You are a mentor at the Life Prep at Naz program that also you guys kind of commingle with the IPAW program. That's how you two meet. What is it, though, the Life Prep at Naz?
Yeah, so Life Prep is a program for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our program allows those people to have the college sort of experience. They have classes like life skills, vocational classes, as well as classes with our NAS therapy students. They also have vocational placements themselves, which is what two of our Life Prep students do with IPAW.
Yeah, and we're going to get to them in a minute, Gracie and Lexi, but you've walked the dogs on the campus before. You used to be a member, right, of the IPAW program? Did I get that? A while ago. How was that like walking the dogs? What kind of reaction did you get?
It's a really calming experience. It's a nice little break from all the too much of college.
Yeah, the chaos of being a student.
Yeah, it's a really nice little break. Everybody kind of flocks to you when you're walking the dogs too, so you meet some really fun people.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I will let you get back to interning now. I'm going to go in here. Look at this. Look at the room. And I want to start off with you, Caitlin. You're a student here at Naz. You also walk the dogs around. What's that? I want to go to you with, you may have gotten a different reaction. She walked the dogs maybe a few years ago. What's it like currently?
I think it's really cool. Same type of thing. I get so many people coming up to me, saying hi to the dogs. Everyone asks me to pet them. And so it's really cool meeting new people and seeing people that I probably wouldn't see otherwise.
And you walk alongside Gracie and Lexi in this. And what's it like walking alongside them, the Life Prep at Naz?
I think walking alongside them, we kind of get a different type of people as well. I've been able to meet both their friends, which is really awesome, and their friends have been able to interact with the dogs, and we kind of see different interactions there, and it's just really fun.
I want to go over to Gracie now. Thank you for joining us this morning. When you go out with the dogs, what's your experience like? Has there anything memorable through that?
Like being with Orion every week from Tuesdays and Fridays. She makes my days a lot more calm and relaxing, and that's why I love being with them.
And what's one of your favorite things about Orion?
I get to walk with her around campus, and I get to meet new people that I never seen before, and they just want to see Orion a lot more.
And then, Lexi, Life Prep at Naz, how has it been like for you through this program?
It's been pretty good.
And what's your favorite thing about it? What kind of stuff do you do outside of walking the dogs here?
Walk the dogs. I walk with Tilly. I'm Mondays.
Okay.
I'm Mondays here.
And Tilly's really an excited dog. Is that how she is when she's out with you, just jumping all over the place?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And then what's the reaction like? Tilly and Orion, almost two separate personalities. What's it like walking Tilly?
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Did the students get a ton of reaction off of Tilly?
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Thank you. And I want to go over to Laura. And we were talking numbers. I know you don't have them in front of you right now, but you can still bring context to kind of when this program started to kind of the improvement that you've seen with students to now. How has that been since 2020?
Well, our program has grown quite a bit since 2020. We started with just Orion when she was released from Guiding Eyes for the Blind for her ear infections. And we now have the 3 dogs on campus, and we survey the students every year, and we see what a big impact it has from some of the stories they tell us. But one of the biggest benefits that they talk about is the stress relief and how much they enjoy just seeing the dogs around campus, just in their natural when they walk around on their daily walks or when we bring them to an event or an activity. They love the surprise of seeing the dogs. We did find that when we looked at some research that we did with Orion when she was still in Guiding Eyes for the Blind, we had some students who could help us with puppy raising, and those students did phenomenally. All of them were retained. Their retention was 100%, whereas the group that wanted to walk but we couldn't fit them in, they had a lower retention rate, something like 86%, and the GPAs were much higher for our students. Their grades were much higher for the students that participated in the program. So we've heard from the students themselves, and we've seen some evidence that it's made a big difference for students.
And you started this program. What's your favorite thing about it outside of crunching those numbers?
When the students walk by my office and just get to interact with a dog, and it makes their day. It makes my day too.
And if someone wants to go find out more about you guys, just go on the Nazareth website, put in IPAW, and they can find out how to find you guys?
Yes, IPAW. We're on Instagram at IPAW_collaborative_Nazareth, I think it was. And you can find us there. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having us this morning. I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio. The dogs are pooped out with a thrilling morning. Back to you guys.
They sure are.
Chris, you worked them to the bone. Look at them.
They need all of the
I feel like
treats.
we need to do a welfare check on that puppy.
I know. Looking great, though.
Just snoozing away the day. I love it.